The morning sun filtered through the large front windows of Maple and Main Cafe, spilling golden light across wooden tables and checkered tile floors. The clatter of ceramic mugs and the soft hum of the espresso machine filled the space with a comforting rhythm. Emily Dawson, 28, wiped down the counter with a rag that had seen better days. Her back ached from the double shift the night before. And her sneakers bought second-hand too. Years ago, squished slightly from a spilled latte. She glanced at the old analog clock on the wall. 6:50 a.m., 10 minutes until opening. Behind the counter, the pastry case stood stocked. Blueberry muffins, scones, cinnamon rolls she had baked herself after her shift yesterday. A little lopsided, but they'd sell. Emily didn't own the cafe, but it felt like home. She'd worked here for 4 years, long enough to memorize every customer's favorite drink and every creaky spot in the floor. As she turned to the front door to flip the sign to open, a soft jingle rang out. A man stood in the doorway, thin, disheveled, clearly exhausted. His hoodie was torn, his jeans frayed, and he clutched a battered backpack like it was his last possession. Emily blinked in surprise. "We're not open yet," she said gently, walking toward him. "I know," he said, eyes lowered. I was wondering if maybe there were any scraps or something. Don't want to cause trouble." Emily hesitated. Her manager wasn't in yet, technically. Serving someone before opening was against policy, but something in the man's voice, a quiet desperation, struck her. "Take a seat," she said softly. "Coffee's on me." He looked up, surprised. "Really?" "Yeah, and I'll bring you something warm." 10 minutes later, the man sat at a corner table, sipping hot black coffee from a chipped mug and eating scrambled eggs, toast, and potatoes. Emily had even thrown in a muffin. He ate slowly at first, as if unsure it was real. Then faster, with gratitude. "What's your name?" she asked, standing beside his table. "Daniel," he replied, swallowing hard. "Daniel Ross." "To meet you, Daniel. I'm Emily." He nodded, then looked down. "I didn't mean to bother you. I've just been going through something. Lost my place a month ago. A few bad decisions, lost my job, and it all unraveled fast." Emily nodded. She didn't pry. "It happens. You're human." Daniel looked up, eyes glassy. "Most people don't treat me like one anymore." Emily offered a small smile. "Well, I still believe in second chances." He studied her for a moment, then said quietly, "I won't forget this." Then he stood, slung the backpack over his shoulder, and left. 6 months passed. The cafe stayed the same. Until one Monday morning when the staff arrived to unexpected news. The cafe had been sold. Emily stood behind the counter with her coworker, Jasmine, reading the memo taped to the wall. Maple and Main has been acquired by a new owner. Staff will remain employed. Details to follow. The cafe buzzed with whispers all week. Who was the new owner? Would they fire people, raise prices, shut it down? On Friday morning, Emily arrived early before anyone else. She brewed coffee, put out pastries, and tried to distract herself with routine. But nerves gnawed at her. At 7:30 a.m., a black car pulled up. A sharply dressed man stepped out, dark slacks, crisp white shirt, navy blazer. He walked with confidence. Emily didn't recognize him until he stepped inside and smiled. Daniel, but no longer worn, tired, or broken. Now his beard was neatly trimmed, his shoes shined, his posture strong. Emily's breath caught. She started. "The new owner," Daniel said. "Hi, Emily." They sat at the same table where he once ate his free breakfast. Daniel explained everything. "I wasn't lying that day. I really had nothing," he said, swirling the coffee she had just served him. "But I wasn't always broke. I used to run a small tech startup. We hit a rough patch. I lost everything, including the people I trusted. He paused, his gaze steady. But that meal, that morning, it was a turning point. Not because it filled my stomach, but because it reminded me that kindness still exists. Emily was stunned. I didn't think it was a big deal, she said. I just didn't want you to go hungry. Daniel leaned forward. To you, it wasn't. But to me, it was the only kindness I'd seen in weeks. I scraped together what I could, got a part-time job, slept in shelters. 3 months later, I pitched a new software to a friend. I took off. And now, you own this place, she said, still processing. I bought it last month. Daniel nodded, quietly. And I've been watching. You've kept this place running. You bake. You clean. You know every customer's name. Emily laughed nervously. Well, it's what I do. Daniel reached into his jacket and pulled out an envelope. What's this? She asked, opening it. Inside was a letter with cafe letterhead. Promotion. General Manager. Effective immediately. Below that, a new salary double what she currently earned and a $5,000 bonus. Her hands trembled. She whispered. Because you gave, expecting nothing in return, Daniel said. That's the kind of leadership I want here. Over the next few weeks, everything changed. The cafe underwent minor renovations. Fresh paint, better lighting, new chairs. A live plant wall replaced the chipped mirror. A local artist's paintings were hung near the window, but Emily remained the heartbeat now in her manager's uniform. She ran the show with confidence, training new staff, managing suppliers, and even creating a seasonal menu one Friday afternoon. She walked by the table near the window, Daniel's table, noticed something new. A brass plaque had been affixed to the wall above it, in honor of small kindnesses that changed lives. Tears welled in her eyes. 6 months later, a woman walked into the cafe just before closing. Her clothes were ragged, her shoes falling apart. She hovered near the counter. Not ordering anything, Emily approached with a warm smile. Hey there. Everything okay? The woman hesitated. I'm sorry. I don't have any money. Can I sit for a bit? Emily nodded. Of course. And how do you like your coffee? The woman looked up in surprise. Black, if that's okay. Emily poured a cup and brought over a muffin. The woman's hands shook as she took the mug. Why? Why are you being nice to me? Emily smiled softly. Because someone once did the same for me.